Feeling rather uncomfortable. Why have I been put into these cuffs?
I fear that you had better get used to them, Mr. Blinkhorn. They are your reward for the murder of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe.
What? No, that's a lie.
It is regrettable, for you are a talented archaeologist. I will request that you are placed in a prison where you are unable to dig an escape tunnel. That is, of course, if they decide that you shall live. The consulting detective who salutes your intelligence in performing the perfect crime, yes, but also the gentleman who detests your motivation.
You know nothing.
You wish to be the one who would reveal this to the world.
Is that the golden knife? How?
I also like to dig, you see. I only followed your trail. Such a pity that there is always someone willing to steal your credit, wouldn't you say? And there was the chance of a lifetime. You had to take it. It was not to be shared. But now I am here, and there is no one who will stop the tread of justice, Mr. Blinkhorn. Goodbye. The game is afoot, not a word. Into your clothes and come. I'll wait for you in the sitting room. I've just received a note from Inspector Lestrade, a letter from the suburbs. He is in need of my presence. Whenever he has asked for my assistance, it has always turned out to be entirely justified. I fancy that every one of his cases has found its way into your collection.
Yes, they all seem worthy of...
However, I regret your fatal habit of looking at everything from the point of view of a story instead of a scientific exercise.
Oh, Holmes, you...
I beg your pardon, I digress. It would be much better to examine this letter than to try to convince you.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Miss...
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look. The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look. The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
I can tell...
So, what is it, Holmes?
Promising, as always. It appears to be a case of murder.
So you believe that Sir Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man. These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the EB monogram, their coat of arms. The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
Well, it is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Scotland Yard was notified. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes sense. Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime. Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately. I live in hope of an interesting morning.
Ah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses, and she has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the three Randalls?
Exactly. The father and two sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
A violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. But I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid to raise her right.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right, I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
Lady Brackenstall awaits you.
Lord Ramsay.
Lady Brackenstall awaits you.
Lord Brigham Brackenstall. Lord George Ladies, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
I suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and... oh God.
Please, go on.
As I approached the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close behind the first man, I saw two others. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had heard them, for he was holding his stick. But they were three, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder one, struck him a terrible blow with the poker. I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
Did the...
Yes, I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard, but you can see for yourself in the dining room.
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man when he was drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
Oh, do you... Yes, he did. He was very angry at the time. Out of control. Again. Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
Your ladyship?
Oh, what a horrible thing to...
Teresa, I would like to hear...
Sir? As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw three men in the moonlight.
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than... That's all.
This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it. This is...
The body is still in the dining room where the murder took.
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
Antique hunting weapons. The huntings. A trapper's hut. A hunter scene. So,
Well, I can...
a fur trader's cabin. Shut. A decay. This glass. There is... This glass... It is rather strange. These wine... This candlestick is valuable. An empty... These wine... This candle... The hunting scene. This door... A deer hunt. The Brackenstall family appear to be preoccupied. This door... Sail... This rope I will take... This is the... This candle... It appears that the bell... That quite a... Bare... The... It is...
I've searched outside for footprints.
Please.
No.
We have to... There...
Oh, they might have been a father and his two sons.
Your ladyship? Let us try to open this safe. This safe can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number. It is... This... So... Sir Eustace's dog...
Yes, Sir Eustace was... It is true that he once threw a decanter at me. Sly devil. God, she'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her... Won her with his time.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
The description of the rat...
Please leave my Mary alone.
What do you know?
A charming man when sober. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight. To the point... I've searched outside for footprints, without any luck.
The death was instant.
A bottle of... The criminals did not... Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibre. Let us try. The fibers from this cut. If I cut the... Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British... I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's... Search, Toby. The intruders entered the shed. The scent. The intruder's trail is long. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route. I need a... This... bags... bags... small... This... This... the... We found your silverware,
Is that true?
your ladyship.
Oh, what a horrible...
Holmes, don't look at me like that.
Here it is. The shipping... But...
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be...
I'm struck.
My secret...
Here it is, Mr. Holmes.
Put it on the table. This list shows the senior... And these are the lists of the senior officers. I do not think that this sailor has any... I do not think that this sailor has any... This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved. This officer is... I do not think that... do not think. I do not think. I do not. I do not. This officer. Mr. Jack. Mr. I do not. I do not think. I do not think. I do not think. I do not. I do not think. I do not. This officer. This officer is Captain. This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. Wiggins.
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me.
Yes, it is important. You are acquainted.
Yes, I think I do remember her.
It seems your relationship.
How?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is. You are.
You?
That evening.
I'm not afraid, Miss...
You would be.
What then?
Lady Brack.
You call that evidence?
Yes, as she was tied.
So, it's a sailor. Your theory is flawed, anyway. On the... It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's...
I'm...
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Holmes, what should we do now?
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to... So, we must work...
Now I understand.
Wiggins could...
Right.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know.
What?
I know, because of the height at which... And because you are... It is time.
I admit, I was oh, I regret...
Lady Brackenstone.
Man,
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her...
Mr. Holmes,
You would not have man...
till I die, do you hear? Now it is... You should have let me...
I am... Inspector,
Well, yes,
here is a piece of evidence that...
perfect.
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, however did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go. Yes.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favour for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens, and that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second. Since... Albert!
How many...
Only myself. But occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom...
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare. It seems to me that the tragedy that...
What tragedy?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he died here just 2 days ago.
We're very sorry. We were not aware.
He was my father.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling.
You say that he died here?
Home.
Yes. Just here. Near the door to the Colonial. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here.
Of course.
What should we do next, Holmes?
The plants were here. All of them were
Do not...
Here is a list of the stolen... According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found. Soil. The soil. Fragments. The trace. These. The footprint. This sign is broken. Blood. Someone fell violently. This pot. A flower pot. The door was... This door... The ensconce... The door was forced from the inside of the colonial collection.
I think we need to
all the clues around. This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked. I think we need to inspect the colonial collection room.
These plants come from all the territories of the British Empire. Very strange. Half of the colonial collection is absent. The smell is strong. These windows were perfectly cleaned. This broken part of... This is one of the outlets of the ventilation. According to this, dry tropic, these flower pots. The symbol is... There is a smell. The plant. A protect. Someone. A door. The door handle. A broom. The remain. The symbol is...
Let's go to Scotland Yard.
Water. Dry. ventilation, sea, nest, collect, heart, direct, reserve. A water tank. A ventilation. Seed. Lock. Net. Locked. Nursery. Locked. Locked. Locked.
Can I help you, gentlemen? Yes, but part-time only.
You're following in your...
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people...
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again. Palm. Water. According to this, according Albert told us.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite...
Would you unlock?
Do you expect to find the stolen plants there?
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation. I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy, then.
This watch. A mem... A bu- Locked. First of all, let us carry out an external examination. No. Not. There are no. There is an injury. The vessel. The air. Now, let us. The heart. The heart. The lungs are. The tissue on the inferior lobe. The lip. The liver. The. There is. My suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens.
You mean...
Yeah. We... No. A few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson. It is time now.
Even those in the staff building.
We should... That is not the one I need. Here it is. That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need. Here it is. The Divine Syndicate is... That is not the one I need. That is not the one I... That is not the one I need. That... That is not the one I... Here it is. Are you...
The Divine what?
No.
What a ridiculous name.
Tell me. You meant... Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall con... Locked. Thank you, young man. Locked. I suggest... French. Champagne. Champagne. Locked. It appears such mass.
Do they grow?
Lock.
Holmes,
Yeah. Open the employee's cloakroom. Miss White's locker. Apparently. A vanity pair. Martin Hamish. Albert's young Albert. The goat.
but what?
There several. A botany.
A phonograph?
Yes. I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything.
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish. study report. This is a... Locked. A thesis. A glass. This area. We can see the interior of the... This is one of the outlets. An award. A master. Here it is. The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in common. The seeds of plant species are stored here. Locked. Open. From here. This is one of the outlets of a book about material. This place.
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants.
Why, thank you, sir.
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watts.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name...
Yes.
What a pleasure to see you here.
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh, yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
Oh, it's...
Yeah. No, I have never been there.
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University.
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh, yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert.
Most of the... Thank you. None of the...
Kew Garden.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
Thank you, young man.
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to.
Do tell us more about your father.
He was indeed... Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall... Here. And here is the...
This place is beautiful.
Let us find... Good day to you.
I am exalting the sap. A while can you wait? From the trace of elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance, do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
There. Completed is the symbiosis. Welcome you are. To introduce myself I shall. I am the Green Grand Mystic.
The Green Grand Mystic himself.
This is me.
We are two gentlemen who are extremely interested in the vegetation philosophy that is advocated by this establishment.
Listening. What is the name of our Lord, our God King?
Our God.
Oh, Lord. Raw sap, it is called. It is needed.
Do you have...
None. Not worthy they are.
Do you...
None. Not worthy they are.
Nevertheless, we... No, really now. There was a theft of plants at Kew Gardens.
No.
How so?
Their director.
Darn.
Yes, that's what I said. He borrowed from us 3, but he never gave them back to us. Excuses and imbecility.
I see. So, if you stole those... Ah, I get it, bravo.
No, we did not steal. We saved. Well, as a matter of fact...
I beg your pardon. And yet you...
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do. They stole...
Well, we will... That should be the raw sap that the... This is rather...
My word, Holmes. Their sap is like...
Osmosis and photosynthesis. You came to make a... Praise the grand tree.
This must be Trewan, the Divine Syndicate's god. This... These instruments that would be a vast caterpillars. A tropical. A tropical plant. These three. My analysis table. It is useful for my...
This green grand, what should we do?
Come on, let us... Let us take... Search, Toby. Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what... This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. There is... Let us determine. Just let us pour. A colourless water. This mixture is probably. According. According to the deadly plants information, in order to perform. That would be enough to perform. This is perfect. I imagine that one of these plants I shall be. I find the best. This plant becomes inactive. How interesting. What a strong. The plants would be.
Let us.
It is too early. What? Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Mr. Hay...
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon. See.
Certainly.
Thank you, miss.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
No, it wasn't like that. When more... The cat... Here it is.
These plants, classified as shrubs or grasses, have adapted to their arid environment due to a system of...
This recording seems very long. It is... We can see the interior of the colonial... This is one of the... Before the power, the engine, the ventilation. From here, we are unable... Excellent. This ventil... Nursery. We can see the interior. Perfect. Now I just need to...
It works
Perfect. Now we know how the murder...
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to...
Colonial... A photo...
Let's go to Scotland.
Nursery. We can see the... This... Inspector, I believe that...
Aha!
Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is...
Holmes, my God! Holmes, his left shoe is unique. This anomaly...
A club foot. Bravo. The mark... Some...
The map?
Let us analyze the facts and state. Perfect, what?
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish,
Mr.
you... No, so please...
You will... You...
I beg... Well done.
Doctor...
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson.
We have? Where to?
To the...
A hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice, and it goes on.
Ah, I can hear...
Or we can't go there.
Watson, you'll hurt the feeling.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes!
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. Don't tell me that dinner is...
Mr. Holmes, it's my brother Leighton. He's in a prison. You have to help us, Mr.
Where...
From what I've heard, you know what they're like. They'll hang him.
Holmes, we have to help him.
Well, and forget about... Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be... It's on Half Moon Street.
Very well.
Mr. Holmes!
I'm in...
Oh, look.
These... So, it seems... It seems as though... It's... Two. Please. Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you?
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you.
My brother?
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey.
Good.
I left my work. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw two men. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was... The second I saw him, he raised his head and he stared at me.
So you might...
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. He was holding a gun in his hand, though. I turned a corner, and I saw the man stand. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police, and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in... Cool. No.
We shall see you soon, young man.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Marrow. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving. Who... You spoke of...
Well, I was standing...
But...
A few minutes after that, the fellow... I didn't hear any...
What?
Well...
yes,
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time...
Did you have...
Yes, I saw that the window was...
Constable, your statements have been of great value. A piece of... Brian Vercotte and... The...
I'll do any...
Mrs...
What do you...
Am I...
Well, I've already...
Could you tell us...
Yes. I was selling my flowers as usual. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon. He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was...
And then...
I screamed as loud as I could. He had no time to escape. Then another constable came out from the very same...
Mrs. Powell...
I'm not sure.
Did you see anyone else?
No, sir. I did not.
My thanks to you, Mrs... Goody. Next. Could you...
Well, near this body? I don't think so.
Were the...
Yes, there was a very short pause, but it seemed to me that the second
That is... Mr. Turner.
No, I saw no one.
Mr. Turner.
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return. so I stayed close to the window till I...
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. I am unable to see any higher. I need to find something. This should... This is most... Watson, there was a... Constable, I will take... All right, Constable. All right.
I shouldn't look for Mr. Holmes here. He's hiding in Half Moon Street. Mr. Holmes.
It is obvious now. No.
It would be my It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
Mr. Turner appears to live... The papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago. Mr. Turner was roused from his bed. This kitchen knife. So, that's the view Mr. Turner had. Mr. Turner had a perfect view. So Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find? Well now, what a find! A precious jewel concealed inside a book. Mr. Turner.
Well, I'm able to move very quickly despite my age. And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
Aye, it would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to...
And what of everything else that you told us?
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
Mr. Turner, you were... This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth...
I can...
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw but you also noticed... You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of... That broke your walking stick. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window as you were climbing up...
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything bad. When I chanced upon the bracelet, I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money.
You made a mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal, I believe.
Mr. Holmes, did you see my brother at Scotland Yard?
I'm...
That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need. Here it is. I need to continue my... That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need. That is not... Here it is. One of the victims. Mr. Butt. These two. This is it. It looks... The rat interest... Please. Leighton, I confess I am puzzled. Why?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was...
You were willing to risk your life. That...
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
I'm sure that you were, but I believe... You have a typical tattoo of the Westgate brother. You came to know him...
Oh, God.
Would you tell me?
We were convicted for a robbery. Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities.
Now, you were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were
And
he had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison.
so you lost.
Yes.
We shall see you soon.
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting.
Constable. This wall is...
Where is he? My God, a man can't just disappear like that. Holmes? Holmes? Where are you?
I cannot see you, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson, it seems that Mr. Holmes has disappeared.
Don't worry, gentlemen, I am up here, above your heads.
How on earth did you get up there, Holmes?
I am using crampons and a climbing axe, although the person we are looking for did not leave any traces of such tools. Constable, is there any...
Yes, Mr. Holmes, I can show...
Gentlemen... These shards of glass... a cluster of thick black threads. They're unusually strong. I should examine them under the microscope. We can conclude that the person whom Leighton saw climbed up the wall, broke into the attic window, and escaped through the hatch. Let us take... I need to come... Watson, could you please pass me...
Here you are.
Watson, look, what's that?
Well, I don't...
Oh, don't make such a... Human hair? The horsehair is thinner than the hair that we found. So, this a hair from a large...
I'm always one.
Wiggins is currently...
Yeah.
I ain't...
Oh, no. What? It would be my pleasure to assist you with your
Mr. Holmes?
We have good news for you, Wiggins.
On...
But...
Anything...
I need you to locate a circus that has stopped over in London.
You can count on...
I do hope that those children don't get into trouble.
Don't worry, Watson. I predict some...
Mr. Holmes, we found it. Here it is.
Duval. And this, I believe...
Aye, you! Stop right there.
Good morning, sir. Pardon me, but...
Because it...
Well, I only wanted to meet the artistes.
Hmm? You're wanting to apply for...
You might...
What? You're a bit slow to catch...
This is where... I'd better wear a shabby hat.
Stay where you are. What are you doing here, and where is Sherlock Holmes?
Calm down, Watson. Take deep breaths now. It's...
Thank...
Who are you?
My name is Nigel. I'm here to open the locks.
Talented, eh? Let's see.
I've got...
Charles Foley is inside the marquee.
So, everything is here, just as you asked. And what about the money? Some of the barrels are wet. Transportation issues, it couldn't be helped. Whatever. We'll be here after midnight to pick up the supplies. I want to be paid first. No. You'll be paid after we make the transfer, as I said. Right. I hope that no one saw you. The police are on the lookout. Of course not. I'm a professional. Glad to hear it. Be ready for tonight, then.
From Lambs? That's a picture. This poster... This would... The crest of the Honourable Artillery. Judging by the powder kit, I am quite sure.
Stop right there.
Are you Charles Foley?
Maybe.
They say that I can...
Do they now? Are you still tampering with that lock? Ah. Well, they're right. What's your name?
Nigel Shirley, from York.
Ah, Nigel from York. Never heard anything about you. How'd you hear about me? Ah, Nigel from York. Never heard anything about you. How'd you hear about me?
It's a long story. I met your brother. Vincent the Butcher Foley, in prison. He told me all about his betrayal. Before I was released, he told me that you might find a job for me one day.
Well, he died.
Hmm.
That's all right. And you'll do the job.
It's all about...
Osh, you fool. Now, listen up. You'll come with us.
Us?
Billy.
And what will I...
We'll share the loot.
Right.
Wait for us at the abandoned manor house on a corner of Ladbroke Grove and...
Deal. Here I am at the manor. Somewhere inside it are the Hellenistic treasures. This lock... I need to find where the safe is hidden and lock... This cupboard... It seems... What a... Let us check. This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency. This door... This should be useful. The door is now... The door is now blocked. I wonder what this old chandelier is doing on the floor. I suppose... Now, if anyone takes the hammer, the rope will uncoil and make the chandelier fall. If he runs through the dining room and takes a sledgehammer to force open the door, the chandelier will knock him down. Although this window is high above the ground, it would be possible for one of the thieves to attempt to use it for their escape. One step on these. I should walk carefully here. Any thief who finds his way upstairs will roll down very quickly. The ground floor window is a perfect way to escape the police. This The door is now... This works very... There is no ladder. If anyone falls here, he will need assistance to get out. Although this window is high above the ground, it would be possible for one of the thieves to attempt to use it for their escape. Now, it's not an open hatch, just a nice carpet on the floor. I should walk carefully here, else my plan will be ruined. Now, if a thief runs through the kitchen, he'll pay a surprise visit. The traps for my circus companions are all prepared. I can leave now.
Police! Police!
Trap? How are you? I assure you, Watson, it was quite an entertaining show. They will not escape the house now.
You scum!
And this...
What?
No.
Then...
This...
Holmes, that is incredible. The Hellenistic treasures.
Charles Foley, you were a witness to the Jew. Even if your intention was...
You are a...
I do. I have...
Be careful with the lamps. Don't bring them too...
Goody.
Who's...
That is a... Eventually, yes.
Hey.
I'm listening.
We are the men. We were for the laws that were set out by our government. The laws that make the commoners only more violent. We are not only from the British Empire. Some of us are from the new lands, America, Australia. But men we are still. And we are merry for that we stopped being afraid. For those powers that be had done their best to plant the fear inside our souls, and we accepted it so easily. The fear advised us to keep our heads bowed. It prevented us from fighting. Bankers and politicians, they own our lives, our work, our bread, and they push us to compete between each other, just to see who may serve them better. But in the end, they are the few, so they are weak. They are nothing without their titles. We should not fear them. Our so-called masters should fear us instead. The time has come for our group to stand tall. They're only...
That...
Chaos. They will be able to work for...
What you are in...
How do you see justice then? And how... Our masters wouldn't hear us. So now it's time to sing the song of the merry men. Will you let us...
When the law serves only the few, it can no longer be trusted. Every man is equal, and he has a right to choose his own way. And I shall not stop you.
So...
What?
It is...
Really?
Yes, Doctor. It's about it. There were also a few words along the lines of pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence. Tell me, Doctor, does my brother show any signs of pain or suffering?
Not that I know of.
Because you see, Doctor, behind all of his masquerade, my brother does possess a deep heart. So deep that he does not recall where he places his love.
Well, I'm sure that...
His love And his duty that, in the first place, should be directed towards the Empire. For without it, we would be nothing. A country filled with uncivilized men. I should leave now. Sherlock, Dr. Watson.
Holmes!
The start? Anything in...